Hey everybody, David Guerra here. Welcome back. It is Thursday. You know what that means? That's right. It's time for hashtag Training Thursday. How are you? Hope you're having a good week. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Hope you're ready for Mother's Day. If you're celebrating where they celebrate Mother's Day this coming Sunday. So have a good one. In the meantime, we got some stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about communicating. See, sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about everything. We're going to talk about phone calls. Return phone calls as soon as possible. You get a phone call, somebody takes your message, somebody takes a message or leaves a voicemail. Return that phone call as soon as possible. Even if it's only to say, I can't talk right now, I'm in the middle of this huge project, can we schedule a phone call later? Or you know what, let's do lunch in a couple of days. You can do that, really, you can. Now, if you happen to be the person, you happen to answer the phone, but you're tied up with something else, well, you know what? Always ask for permission and wait for the answer. If it's okay to put somebody on voice, put somebody on hold. There we go, not voicemail. Or speakerphone. You know, hey, look, I'm here in this room. Everybody wants to hear you. Is it okay to put you on speakerphone? Now, little trick about speakerphones. If you're not talking, put the microphone on mute, and this applies to both ends. This applies to both ends because what will happen is somebody will make a noise and it'll cut out the other side's conversation. And remember, the local microphone has a priority over the speakerphone, so be careful there. Now, I'm notorious for this. I don't do it, but I do it for a reason. Personalize your voicemail. Now, if it's office voicemail, I say personalize it 100%. Do something that says, hey, this is you. And if possible, change it every day. Say, hi, this is Dave Guerra, and today is Thursday, May 5th. That's when I'm recording this. I'm not in the office, or I'm stepped away. I can't take your call. Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's fine. But with my cell phone, I don't do that. Again, too many solicitors out there, too many people, spammers, and they're trying to make connections as far as phone numbers, those bots, those caller bots, phone numbers to names and people. So I don't do that. So unfortunately, if you get my voicemail on my cell phone, please leave a message. Now, to those of you that leave messages or don't leave messages, well, if you don't leave a message, I'm not going to call you back. As far as I know, it was the wrong number. And that's just the way it is, and a lot of people see it that way. So be very, very careful. So be prepared to, what I mean by careful, just be prepared not to get a response or not to get a call back. Leave a message, please. That's why they invented voicemail. It's for messages. And even if it's just say, hey Dave, I'm calling, but I dialed the wrong number, but how are you doing? Call me back when you get a chance. That's great. But again, explain yourself. Leave a message. Better than nothing. Now, emails at work should be grammatically correct and free of spelling errors. And please do not capitalize all the words. Oh, and before I forget, never ever treat your personal email, never ever treat your work email like your personal email. So don't be, hey, what's up? What's going down? Hey, this, no. Keep it very professional, because that's who they're dealing with and that's who they want to deal with. Somebody professional. That's why they're emailing you. Now, if it happens to be a buddy or a friend, you know what? As quickly as possible, take it over to your personal email. If it's a coworker that wants to chit chat and wants to know if you're in the office pool for the Powerball that's coming up, or the Kentucky Derby, if you're in on it or whatever, or football season when it starts up, if you're in the pool, again, move that off business as quickly as possible, please. Oh, you don't understand the trouble you could get. See, because the thing is that you could get, you get in trouble because, again, you're using company equipment for personal business. Something to think about there. Remember that. Now, when voicemailing, leave clear, concise information. Who you are. Obviously, they know it on the. But if it's a company phone you're using, on the caller ID, it'll just say the company. Say who you are, what department you're from, and what's the nature of your message. The message you're leaving. Why are you calling? Do you want them to call you back, or you're going to try again later? Or if you're out of office, big one. And now let's talk about email. So when you email, use the subject box and make sure it relates to what you're writing. And even if it's like, this is the first time, you could say regarding voicemail, or RE, your voicemail, or regarding the conversation we had yesterday, or regarding whatever. Use the subject line. Now, sticking with email just a little bit longer. Again, this is communication that we're doing here. And when you do email, never ever put yourself in a situation that you say something on email that you would not say in face-to-face conversation. And especially if you're saying it about a third party. So you were mailing it to me, and you're talking about somebody. Or you bait me into talking about somebody, and then you send it to a third person, and that third person is now part of the conversation. Okay? Now that fourth person, the one we were talking about at the very beginning, somebody in the conversation decides to roll that person in. Now they're aware of everything that's going on. If you don't want to say it face to face, don't say it at all. It is that simple. Common courtesy. I think this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say about emailing in this video. Underlining, italicizing, bolding, coloring, changing the font size. No, don't do it. Just keep it all the standard font. If you need to underline or bold something, say like a title of a project or a title of a book, by all means, do it. But do not turn your emails into a ransom note. You know what I'm talking. You've seen them in the movies and televisions where they cut and paste big letters, small letters, and it turns into a ransom note. We demand 50,000. That is what I'm talking about, a ransom note. If everything's capitalized and everything's bold, well, guess what? That comes off very aggressive, very strong, and again, why is this guy upset? That's going to be their first thought. And then if you start using colors and underlines and bolds and lower cases and changing the fonts here and there, it's like no one's going to take you serious. Because again, you're spending more time on painting a picture than you are about the project at hand or the issue at hand in the email. So please avoid that. Save that for the magazines, save that for the movies, save that for something else, but don't do it here. Okay, now, closing out. Let's talk about back to phone and voicemail, especially voicemail. When you start playing that phone tag, you leave a message, they call back, leave a message, and so on and so on and so on. You know what? And there needs to come a time when it just needs to stop. Do a hardball. Just say, hey, look, at this time, at 10 o'clock, Thursday morning, I will be in my office. I will wait for your call, or I will call you if that's a bad time. You pick the time. Leave that in a message. Drop them an email. Confirm it. Solidify that time, that place, and just let them know that, hey, that's enough. Because again, you can only play tag for so long. At some point, someone's not going to get interested. This happened to me earlier this week. I was playing a little phone tag with somebody. I even went so far as to give them my personal cell number, and they still didn't call. I guess they just were no longer interested. But we were playing tag back and forth, back and forth. But it does happen. So please, hardball, a hard stop. That's what I mean. It's a hard stop. Just say, this is it. Let's talk. Well, listen, everybody, my name is David Guerra. This has been #Training Thursday, and we're talking about communications using email and phone. Until next week, have a great week. All you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.